Hi folks, this is part of the tea video. What I thought I'd do is try to talk about some different plants that can be used for tea. This happens to be winged sumac. Yeah, I don't have the botanical name. I probably will put it down in the description of the video, but winged sumac, the berries for winged sumac, as you can see right here, can be used. They have an acid on the outer portion of the berries, and that acid is kind of a lemony flavor. If you take your finger and touch it to it, and then touch it to the berry, and then get a taste of it on your from your finger, it's kind of a lemony flavor, and that's what we pretty much use it for. It's like a wild lemonade. But the problem is, and I'm not going to be able to do any right now, to be able to show any right now, because we just had a rain, and when it rains, the water gets on the berries and it washes the acid off, so you have to have berries that are dry to use. But you can take the berries, and these are red, by the way. This isn't like poison sumac where the berries are white, and you want to stay away from that. They call it poison sumac for a reason. This is not that. This is winged sumac, and I believe there's a staghorn sumac, which is another one also that has red berries that you can use. But the idea is to make a tea out of it. You can put it in one of two different ways. What I like to do with my teas is I'll use a tea ball. Sometimes that works pretty good. You can put berries or leaves or whatever you need to in the tea ball, and that works. The other thing is you can take a cut up piece of rag like that, put the berries in the middle, close it up, and then tie it off at the top, and then drop that in, and it's basically a tea bag. So you can do it that way. Some people like to use coffee filters and things like that to filter out any trash or whatever, and coffee filters work fine too for straining maybe, and if you need to get the trash out of it. But anyway, this is one. It usually takes quite a bit depending on how much water you've got, so you'll have to kind of adjust the amount of berries with the acid that's on them to the proportion of water that you're using. So anyway, they work pretty well. It works pretty well, and it does have a lemony flavor to it. Now when you do it, you don't want to boil the water. With this, you just want to soak the berries in the water for a little while, and you want to use tap water, room temperature type water, tepid, or just basically tap water. If you look at the leaves and the stem, you'll see that it's kind of hard to go wrong too. You'll see that it has a big, wide, almost like a leafy portion, wide stem in between the leaves here, and that's called a rachis. And if it has a rachis, then you pretty much know what you got. Also, the berries are out toward the end of the stem, as you can see here. Now with the poison sumac, the berries, like I said, of course, are white, and poison sumac likes water, and there's not a lot of it around here anyway, but it likes water. The winged sumac here, it likes to hang around like ditches and places like that where there's some water, but it's not standing in water. It's not right around a lot of water. So like the poison sumac. Also, with the poison sumac, the white berries tend to want to come off on individual shoots that come out off of the stem. So it's a lot different position-wise where the berries would be anyway. Stem would come off here, and you'd have the white berries. But here, as you'll see, as you can see, the berries are on the end of the branch, and that's the same for all of these. So so that's the way to tell the difference between them. But you don't really need the berries themselves, just need the acid that comes off, that's the outer coating that comes off of them. And don't collect them when it rains either, because the rain washes the acid off the berries, and that's what you're trying to get for your tea. So yeah, you want these when they're dry, when the berries are dry and red. You know, they'll turn brown and later on, and you may not be able to use them then, but bright red is really the way to go. These are red here, but the rain's washed them, so they're kind of, since the rain's washed them, they've darkened up a bit. But anyway, that's winged sumac. Okay, continuing on, I just covered winged sumac, and that was a type of tea where you know, flavoring your water to get a wild lemonade type of flavor. This is blackberry. And here's another one with a little lizard. He's running down the... Okay, more here. This is all blackberry. Part of a blackberry bush. And they do have thorns, so be very careful. And I mean, when I fool with blackberries, brambles or briars, whatever you want to call them, and they got stickers, they got the thorns on them. They can. You want to be very careful around them, because it's not hard to get an infection from one of these guys when they get stuck in your skin. But so you want to be careful. Gloves would be the best way to deal with these. The leaves are what would be interested in. Well, other than the berries, which are edible, the leaves I'll be able to make a tea from, and I can do it. And it's pretty much the same with all of the leaf types that I'm dealing with. Is if I'm going to do a tea with, and I have nothing but green leaves like this, and you know, I can use the green leaves. I can take them and get a whole bunch of them and crush them and use that as my to make my tea with. Or I can take the leaves and dry them out for, I don't know, maybe a day or two, and they get really to the point where they just crumble, and you end up with and you don't have to use as many leaves if you dried them than you would if you used just, you know, got them green like that. So there's two different ways you can do it, depending on, you know, how much time you got or what you need to do. But anyway, blackberries are good, or excellent. Is an excellent tea, actually. It's really good. The only thing I can say is when by itself, it's kind of bland. It's kind of almost like an Oriental green tea is the only way I know how to describe it. But if you put just a small amount of sweetener to it, and you could, if these plants happen to be be putting out berries at the time, you can just drop a berry in, and a berry's got plenty of sugar in it. You can get a little bit of sweetness out of that, and it really makes that tea one of the best teas I think I've had. I'm not kidding at all. It's really good with just a little bit of sweetener to it. It's really good. But it's something to think about. Another type of tea, blackberry leaf tea. Especially if you need to flavor some less than ideal water when you're out in the field. But it's you know, just a little bit of sweetener, and it's really good. But I mean, you don't have to put the sweetener in it. You can just drink it as is, but it's more like an Oriental green tea. It really just doesn't have any. It's nothing spectacular. It doesn't have any kind of really any flavor to it. But anyway, that's blackberry leaf tea right there. Okay, moving on. You've got Huckleberry. Huckleberry leaf tea. Same kind of thing as the blackberry. And you want to boil your water just like you would, and steep the leaves in the water to get the tea flavor, the flavor of it. And it's kind of a fruity flavor, I guess. So, you know, huckleberry is another good one to use. Make sure you get huckleberry and not gallberry. So, you know, it helps when you have a berry on the branch. You can, but like I said, the leaf identification I think I covered in another video. So just be on alert that you don't get a gallberry or some other type. Make sure that you have huckleberry and make sure you know what it is. And it's not bad tea either. Right next to it, I don't know if you can see that or not. It's in the, I'm fighting the shade and the sun here. Blueberry leaf. And they're in bad shape. They don't look too good. These don't. Okay. See if I can find some better ones. No, they're all looking kind of bad. This patch is. So move over here. You can see the underside of that one. And it's pretty much the same thing as the huckleberry, blueberry. Blueberry leaf is, and these are actually the best ones here toward the end. The newer growth ones, you know, they have better color to them. Younger probably is, the younger leaves maybe toward the tip would be better. So, anyway, you use it the same way as you would the huckleberry or the blackberry. You know, you boil your water and you steep it. And I guess if you have the option and the berries are available, you could probably add the berries to sweeten the tea. So, you know, that's an option if the berries are available. But if they're not, then, you know, it still does have flavor to it, and you're flavoring your water, but the sweetener does make a difference. Okay. Well, folks, there are lots of other teas that are available out there than the ones that I've covered. The ones that I've covered and try to cover in this video are the ones that, you know, are the ones that I use the most, or available to me. I really didn't get into covering mints, and there's some mints around here like Florida Pennyroyal and some others, bush mint, things like that. There's also, but I'm not a big fan of mint, you know. I just don't like the mint flavor. Some people might, but I don't. There's also some of the goldenrods. One I think is the only one that I know of that's really actually used for tea. I think it's called odorata is one of the botanical names for it. But the ones that we have around here are mostly pine barren goldenrod. They're not the odorata or the anise, which is a licorice flavored goldenrod. And I'm not a big fan of licorice flavor either, anise, but some people might not mind that. They may like the mint or the anise. But well, I'm gonna move on here, and I think I've already covered pine needle tea. This is a yellow pine. It's not going to be the best in the world. You know, I like to use the needles out toward the green needles out toward the end of the very tip end, where the new growth is. They're not going to be the best in the world. They're probably one of the worst, actually, as far as flavor goes. But yellow pine needles for pine needle tea is fine. pretty much any pine. The ones that might be a little bit better flavor, let's go walk over here, are some of the spruce types. And this is, I think, a Virginia pine, or sand pine, Virginia pine. And you'll see that quite a bit of difference there in the needles. You know, so, and they say that the spruce type has a better flavor, and I believe that's true. That I believe that the spruce, if you can come across a spruce type, to me it has a better flavor. They're a lot more mild than a yellow pine would be. For yellow pine needles would be the spruce type. So anyway, I've covered that in another video on pine needles, pine needle tea. So you might, if you look at that one, you can see. I don't remember which video it was now, but I did do a video on. Actually, I think I was using yellow pine. So it was the inner bark, or the cambium, that I was using for its edible in a pinch. And also, which you either slice it really thin, I think, you know, to be able to get it down. Otherwise, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be thick, and there's going to be a texture problem. You're going to have a hard time chewing it up and getting it down. But the best way to do it, the best flavor is kind of to roast it. If you roast it over a fire, then it has a kind of a nutty flavor to it. It's really good. And I think I did some, I showed some, just making some pine needle tea, boiling up some water and dropping the needles in. So crushing them up a little bit and then dropping them in. You're going to get trash in the water, so if you do it that way, maybe a better option would be to put it in like I said, a tea ball, or make yourself a makeshift tea bag out of some cloth, you know. So whatever you've got available to you to use it. Okay? Well, thanks for watching.